Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite channel, and this is your Leno TV. Still on matter of Muhoozi's threat on the Kenyan soil, President William Samoei Ruto gave his response, and he gave a response that sounded as a warning back to the Uganda country. So personally, I think Muhoozi considers President Ruto weak, and after Museveni delivered his message to Kenyans through his son. So stick by for details about that response. Personally, I think the main reason is the reversal of the SGR port, because that was going to enhance trade in the East Africa. I think Muhoozi could be speaking on behalf of certain East African leaders who are beginning to benefit from the SGR dry port. So Uganda imports a lot of cargo through Kenya, and at one point Kenya offered Uganda land to build a dry port in Naivasha. And during campaigns, this was one of the most talked about topic, the SGR dry port in Naivasha. And most custodians wanted these operations reversed back. But that reversal would see the gains in the dry port, all of them just vanish. So personally, I think with the reversal of the gains that the SGR brought to Ugandans could be one of the main reasons why Muhoozi delivered Museveni's message in the manner it was delivered. Many people consider the way the message was delivered as full of contempt, and that we can capture Nairobi in 2 weeks. How do you capture a capital city like Nairobi in 2 weeks? And where would be the Kenyan Defense Forces be when you be doing that capturing in 2 weeks? Could it be that could it be a warning that President Ruto should not mess with the deal? The dry port was a successful project that has seen the congestion of the Kenya Port Authority and increase in revenues because many ships can now dock without worry of unavailable berths. Remember, during Kibaki's era, most of the time that you realize that ships could not dock because there was no space. So most of the time you could find that there was a lot of so many ships that could dock at the overseas, waiting for more available berths. But with the design of the dry port, with the introduction of the SGR, the congestion of port was realized. And Uganda is the main importer, and there's a time in Uganda imported a lot of cargo. I think that's the time Kenya decided to award Uganda a land in Naivasha so that Uganda could build a dry port. So Uganda and Kenya have always had tension since the days of Idi Amin. And at one time, Idi Amin made similar threats of attacking Nairobi. So during Kibaki era, Museveni attempted to attack Migingo, and that caused a lot of diplomatic war. So Museveni is simply making Museveni is simply mocking Kenyans by pretending to be unhappy over the remarks of his son, or over the remarks that his son made. Because what's funny is that instead of demoting Muhoozi, Museveni decided to appoint Muhoozi to a senior position. That's a mockery, and that to many Kenyans has been seen as Museveni appreciating his son for delivering a message to the Kenyan people successfully. So Ruto issued a response to the same. Before I give you details on what President William Samoei Ruto issued, take a moment and subscribe to this channel. This is what President Ruto said. Mimi siogopi kitu, siogopi mtu. And God's time is the best, and this is God's time. It sounded as rather a weak response, but it carried a strong message. Mimi siogopi kitu, mimi siogopi mtu. The interpretation of saying mtu is that William Ruto could not pronounce Muhoozi's name directly, because that would mean William Ruto would be sharing his worry direct to Muhoozi. But then he decided to generalize it that mimi siogopi mtu. That means it can be anybody. It can even be a street person. It can even be Museveni. It can even be a general within the army of the Uganda Defense Forces. So he said mimi siogopi kitu, mimi siogopi mtu. So personally, the mere fact that Muhoozi talked of a revolution should not be ignored. Revolutions come most of the time when a government comes in place and tries to undo the gains of other people as stakeholders. You know, a country has stakeholders. A country has cartels. There are people who benefited from the SGR dry port. The mere reversal of that that project will see these people stop benefiting from the project, and that can cause a revolution. So that's a warning to Ruto that if he continues to renege on the deal, the dry port deal, then all hell might break loose and soon a revolution might be realized, ladies and gentlemen. So I started off by sharing what happened previously. And I started off by saying that there's a response from William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, and that he says mimi siogopi mtu. That's a response to Uganda authority. So ladies and gentlemen, can you share below the comment section what you think about this threat and the response from the President of the Republic of Kenya, whether the President of the Republic of Kenya should be more firmer than what he said, that the remarks should be a bit firm and issue direct threat to Uganda, probably to warn Uganda that if you dare attempt to infringe in our rights, to do exactly what the Russians are doing on the Ukraine, you will face the music. That should be the response that Kenya should get as a response to the Ugandan authority. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to wind up there. Please take a moment and subscribe to our channel if you had not subscribed before. Once again, I'd like to say stay safe and stay blessed.